froze. It wasn't coming from a computer. It sounded closer, smaller, like someone typing on a phone. Click, click, click. I turned my flashlight toward the sound and nearly dropped it. A woman stood between two parked cars, completely soaked. Water dripped from her clothes. Her office outfit looked decades old, like something from another era. Her long, wet hair covered most of her face, and in her hands, she held a cracked cell phone. Her thumbs moved rapidly across the screen, typing, typing, typing. Even though the phone was completely dead, I swallowed hard. "Are you okay?" The woman stopped. Slowly, she lifted her head. Her skin was pale, almost gray. Water streamed from her mouth when she spoke. I told them he was still here. Her voice sounded broken, distant, like it was coming through an old speaker. Nobody believed me. Then, without blinking, she raised one trembling finger and pointed behind me. I turned around and saw him, standing beside my car, the man in the dark suit. For a second, my brain refused to process what I was looking at. He was tall, far too tall. His head nearly touched the concrete ceiling of the garage. Black water dripped from his suit, slowly splashing onto the floor beneath him. His face remained hidden in the shadows, except for one thing: his smile. It stretched impossibly wide across his face, wider than any human smile should, and somehow it kept getting wider. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. Then the woman behind me screamed. The sound echoed through the entire garage, a raw, terrified scream. At that exact moment, the emergency lights exploded, one by one. Pop! Darkness. Pop! Another. Pop! Another. The garage began going dark around me. Closer, closer, closing in. That's when I ran. I turned and sprinted toward the stairwell. Every survival instinct in my body took over. I slammed through the heavy metal door and started climbing. 2 steps at a time. 3 steps at a time. My lungs burned. My legs felt like they were on fire, but I didn't stop. Behind me, I heard footsteps. Slow, heavy, following me. 1 floor below. Then closer. The sound grew faster and faster and faster, like whatever was chasing me had finally decided to run. I risked a glance downward through the center of the stairwell. Big mistake. For just a split second, I saw something moving in the darkness below. Something impossibly tall, looking up at me, smiling. I nearly fell. I forced myself forward, kept climbing, kept running. By the time I reached the lobby level, the footsteps were directly beneath me, right there, only seconds away. I burst through the stairwell door, nearly falling into the lobby, then sprinted toward the front entrance. The glass doors stood ahead of me, closed. For one horrifying second, I thought they wouldn't open. Then suddenly, whoosh! The automatic doors slid apart. Cold rain rushed inside. I threw myself through the opening and stumbled onto the sidewalk. The storm hit me instantly. Wind, rain, thunder. I collapsed against a concrete planter and turned back toward the building, expecting to see him, standing inside the lobby, watching me, waiting. But the lobby was empty.
Completely empty. No man, no woman, no footprints, nothing. Just rows of silent lights reflecting against polished floors. As if none of it had ever happened. I stayed outside until sunrise, too terrified to go back in. The city remained strangely quiet, almost deserted. Eventually, around 5:30 in the morning, a police car pulled up. A delivery driver had spotted me standing in the rain and called for help. The officers approached cautiously. I must have looked insane, soaked, shaking, unable to stop looking at the building. I told them everything, every detail. The phone calls, the footprints, the woman, the man in the suit, the garage, all of it. They searched the entire building, floor by floor, room by room. Nothing. No intruder, no water, no damaged lights, no muddy footprints, nothing at all. It was like the building had erased every trace. My supervisor arrived shortly after sunrise, and he was furious. At first, he thought I had lost my mind, thought I had caused some kind of disturbance. But then one of the officers mentioned the 15th floor, and something changed. Immediately. The color drained from his face. He stopped talking, stopped arguing, and quietly asked me to step aside, away from the others. That's when he told me something I wish I had never heard. Years before our company moved into the building, a woman named Claire worked in accounting. One night, during a storm just like this one, she stayed late, alone. Around midnight, she started calling security, over and over. She kept saying a man had followed her up from the parking garage. The security guard on duty thought she was overreacting, thought she was panicking. He told her to stay calm, told her nobody was there. Then he stopped answering her calls.
Police were eventually sent to check the building, but when they arrived, Claire was gone. Her computer was still running, the office lights were still on, her shoes sat beside the elevator, her purse remained at her desk. Her car was still parked in the garage, but Claire herself was never found, not a trace. The case was quietly buried. The building owners didn't want bad publicity, so most employees never even heard about it. I stood there, listening, trying to convince myself there had to be an explanation. Then my supervisor told me the worst part. The security guard who ignored Claire's calls quit 2 days later. Nobody knew why. He refused to explain. A week after that, he disappeared too. Vanished without a trace. No body, no evidence, nothing. Only one thing was ever recovered: his final shift log, the last report he ever typed. According to my supervisor, the document contained only a single sentence, repeated hundreds of times, over and over, line after line, page after page, as if he couldn't stop typing it, as if someone had forced him to. The sentence read, "He is still in the building." And as my supervisor finished telling me that story, I looked up at the office tower, toward the 15th floor, and for just a second, I thought I saw a computer monitor glowing in the darkness. Then the screen went black. I quit that morning. The second the sun came up, I handed in my badge, my access card, my keys, everything. I didn't even wait for paperwork. I didn't ask questions. I didn't argue. I just left. And I never went back. not even for my final paycheck. For months, I tried to explain it away. Maybe I was exhausted. Maybe I'd been working too many overnight shifts. Maybe stress had finally caught up with me. I researched everything: sleep deprivation, panic attacks, hallucinations, even carbon monoxide poisoning. Anything that could make sense of what happened. Anything rational. Anything except the truth. Eventually, life moved on. Or at least, I convinced myself it had. The nightmares became less frequent. The anxiety faded. And little by little, I stopped thinking about the office. Stopped thinking about Claire. Stopped thinking about the man in the suit. Then, last week, everything came back. It started with an email, an ordinary email, received at exactly 2:14 a.m. The sender address was nothing but random letters and numbers. No name, no profile picture, no subject line, no message. Just a single attachment. At first, I assumed it was spam, but something about it bothered me. Maybe it was the time. Maybe it was the feeling I got when I looked at it. Either way, I opened it and instantly regretted it. The attachment was a photograph, a security camera screenshot. The 15th floor, accounting. I recognized it immediately. The cubicles, the conference room, the windows, everything. The image had clearly been taken that night. The night I quit. The night I ran. At first, I didn't understand what I was seeing. Then my stomach dropped. Because the person standing in the middle of the office was me. Frozen in place, facing the glowing computer screen. The exact moment when I read the message. He is already in the building. My hands started shaking. I zoomed in, trying to understand who had taken the picture, trying to figure out which camera angle it came from. And that's when I saw it, in the reflection of the window behind me. A figure, standing inches away, leaning over my shoulder, watching me. The man in the suit. His face hovered beside mine, smiling. That same impossible smile. The smile that stretched too wide. The smile I had seen in the garage. I stared at the image for several minutes, unable to breathe, unable to look away. Then I noticed the text beneath it, a single sentence, typed in plain black letters. No signature, no explanation, just 6 words. You were not supposed to leave. I closed the email immediately, deleted it, emptied the trash folder, then shut my laptop. I didn't sleep that night, or the next one, because something started happening afterward. Every night, at exactly 2:14 a.m., my laptop turns on by itself. The lid can be closed. The battery can be dead. It doesn't matter. At 2:14, it wakes up. Every time. The screen remains black for a few seconds. Completely black. Then letters begin appearing, one at a time, as if someone invisible is typing them, slowly, patiently, watching me. The first night, the message said, "I found you." The second night, it said, "You should have stayed." The third night, it said nothing at all, just endless typing sounds coming from the speakers. Click, 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 until sunrise. Then last night, the worst message appeared yet. I watched the letters form one by one, my hands shaking, my heart pounding. First, the office. A pause. More typing. Then, your home. The cursor blinked. The message remained on screen for several seconds, then vanished. The laptop shut itself off. The room became silent. For a moment, I thought it was over. Then I heard it. 3 soft taps, coming from inside my bedroom closet. Tap, tap, tap. The exact same pattern, the same 3 taps. The ones I heard outside the security office door, the ones the man made before walking away. I froze, every muscle locked. The apartment was completely dark. The closet door stood closed across the room, and behind it, something shifted, very slowly, like someone adjusting their weight, standing in the darkness, waiting, listening. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. And then, from the other side of the closet door, a man's voice whispered, "You're not scheduled tonight."